Alright, we're down in the basement at 2050 Yarrow. We're going to be taking a look at the main sewer through this clean out here. It is the farthest access away, which means we'll see the most of our sewer. Plus, we're interested in that. There's a patch been cut here, like this has had to been repaired. We'd like to see what that repair looked like and make sure everything there is in good shape now. And my camera is very cold right now and is fogging up. So we're going to kind of proceed through here. Ah, good, a little splash of water. So there was a new piece of ABS put in here for some reason, but it all looks good. They lined it up really well. This is our cast iron. This is what was originally under the footprint. You see a lot of scaly buildup, which is generally a good sign. It means this hasn't had to be cleaned very often. And because the outside never required cleaning, you do see a little bit more scale on the inside than normal. None of it's horrible. Just passed through something that gave electrical interference to our camera. This is a good sign. Whenever you see cobwebs that thick in a pipe that's being used, it tells you you have very good slope. We are continuing on, and there we meet PVC, which is excellent. See a little bit of the rubber seal, but it's lined up well. And that we kind of suspected because of how much scale there was in the cast iron, that we might have PVC out here, because PVC doesn't get roots if it's done properly. It doesn't require regular maintenance. So you usually see a little bit more buildup in the cast iron just because the line's never getting cleaned. And all signs show that this is a very good slope to this sewer. There is some original clay tile. This is probably, it could be from a replacement, but what you probably had was this neighborhood, the original sewer was put in, the city sewer, in the clay tile age, somewhere in the mid to like 76 through 78, and then this house was finished later. This lot was actually developed after 78, and what you end up with is the city ran their main and then the tap and lateral to the edge of each property, and then later when the house was built, it had newer PVC that ran out to that lateral. So we're dropping down out here. Well, how strange is that? We're going to back up and look at that again and make sure that's not our mind playing tricks on us. It could just be the staining there that makes that look like clay tile, because the color is very much like clay tile, but it may just be stained that color because all the waste is bouncing off of it. I mean, the coloration still says clay tile all the way through here, but there's no reason for it to go back to PVC again, and that is such a clean union. Regardless, it's in great shape. No, that was a clay tile drop, and for some reason there's a PVC transition in it, and then back to clay tile. And more interference there. Kind of strange, but it all still is in good shape. I think this is all clay tile. And I mean, not clay tile. I think it's all PVC. You just have some very interesting coloration here. That stretch, the reason we'd still say PVC is that stretch there was too long to not have a union in it and be clay tile. So I think it's just oddly stained and colored. There's our drop. We'll probably drop it down to the tap now, which is right there, and everything looks great. You can see it is a clay tile sewer out there. That's definitely clay tile. Odd little series of things. But the good news is, regardless of what any of it is, the only thing that's a little off at all about this sewer in any way, shape, or form is that the cast iron inside the house has a little bit of buildup in it that eventually wouldn't hurt to have cleaned a little. Put a cable down through there and scrape some of that buildup out. None of it is thick enough to be an immediate threat though. So even if you didn't do it, it's still going to function fine. It would just help it function better. And you can see the green and how easy it is to see. That transition there is white PVC and very easy to see. Everything about this has the coloration of clay, but I think that's PVC as well. Just stained kind of funny. So it's looking red. But clay tile generally has fittings every 2 to 4 feet. And we are not seeing any fittings in this one. That would definitely suggest that it is PVC. The goo's a little bit sloppy coming out of the cast iron, so we're going to have to use quite a few paper towels. I mean, that transition there, that absolutely looks like clay tile, but I don't think it could be because I've never seen clay tile in 10 or 20 foot sections. So even though this has the coloration of clay, I think it's all plastic. So all those stories we were telling earlier about how this might have ended up being clay are really not pertinent to this sewer. We're getting our fair share of sloppy gloppy drips from this build up in the cast iron. This one is the kind that absolutely gobbles up paper towels. And that's just because that cast iron hasn't been cleaned. Ever. We're back inside of it now. Back inside the house. Off me and failing. It was just the cast iron and it looked fine. sloppy, gloppy mess. Alright. So that sewer is not half bad. You can see all the slime that's on my push rod now. Instead of being a nice, bright, shiny blue. We will stop right there as soon as I get these gloves off so I can touch my remote.